Hello and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we've got our first video in our new mini-series which we are calling Added Time. Okay, these videos are going to be separate to our podcast videos, which are going to be slightly longer, with these ones being slightly shorter, based around a range of topics as the weeks go on. Today I'm joined by Byron, and today in our first Added Time video we are going to be discussing our picks for the team of the year for 2020. Better late than never. We're about 2 weeks into 2021, but we thought it'd be good to chuck it in there at the start of this year to see how it compares to what our pick's going to be at the end of this year. So, cracking on, straight into our first pick, our goalkeeper pick. Okay, Byron, who did you pick for your goalkeeper?
I mean, it's got to be Alisson, surely. Winning a league title with Liverpool makes him just the automatic pick. But it's not just that. I think since he's come into the league, he's added just reassurance to Liverpool's back line. And he's a top-class goalkeeper. I really do think he's going to have a great Liverpool career.
No, I completely agree. Before they had him, they were looking at keepers like Mignolet, Karius in there, and they couldn't seem to get it right. And him coming into the league, coming into their setup has completely transformed them at the back.
I mean, with Karius, I think we all remember the Champions League final against Gareth Bale, don't we say?
Yeah,
Alisson's a top-notch keeper compared to that.
Completely top-notch, and again, a big reason for why they won the title last year as well. I think that's fair to say. So, completely agree. First pick out the way, nice and easy. Alisson in net for us. Let's move swiftly on then to the back four. Some disagreement in there for what we've spoken about previous to recording the video. But I feel like there's no disagreeing that there are three players in there that every single person in the country is going to have in, and that is the three Liverpool boys of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, and Andrew Robertson. What are your opinions on that?
I mean, Trent and Robbo have to be in there, really. You know, I mean, what Trent has done since he's come through the Liverpool Academy and got into the first team is amazing. Like, he's weak at the back, but what he brings to them in attack is amazing. And the amount of assists, and he's even added to that with his set pieces, like scoring goals now. He really is turning into a very good right back. And then Robbo is just like solid on the other side. You know what I mean? He brings you assists. He's like runs with the ball, and he does his defensive work really well.
That's it, man. And like you say, they bring so much more than just defending on that side of the ball. 32
and then
between them over the last sort of season and a half. It's incredible to talk about numbers like that amongst two players that are defensive players. You know, you'd think we'd be talking about midfield players in that respect, but just incredible numbers, really is.
And then you've got the rock in the middle that is Virgil van Dijk. You know, I mean, whoever he seems to be partnered with, you've got Joe Gomez, Fabinho, Matip, like any of these players that he's playing with. I know he's obviously suffered his injury, which has left him out for the majority of this season, but I still don't think that you can't not have him in there for what he's brought to that Liverpool back line. And obviously he's helped them win a title. So he's just incredible.
That's it, man. And as well, he was in the World 11, wasn't he? So that pick at the end of the year, the World 11, he was in there. And again, a staple of Liverpool's back line, of Liverpool's team. And that core they've got going up through the middle, he's so important. And I don't think there's many people out there that deny that he's one of, if not the best centre-half in the world at the moment. So a must stay in our team of the year. So this is where we came to a bit of a disagreement. The other centre-half. Now, in the Premier League at the moment, defending doesn't seem to be a very topical thing. Doesn't seem to be a thing that the league seems to be doing very well at the moment. But we've come up with two picks that slightly differ, and we're going to give our reasons for that right now. We'll start with you, Byron. You picked Aymeric Laporte as your pick. Why is that?
I am Eric Laporte. No, I picked Laporte because just for me, I think what he brings to that Man City defence last season before they added Ruben Diaz, he was partnered with all types of defenders. You know what I mean? He's partnered with Fernandinho, who's barely played centre-back in his career, partnered with John Stones, who's looked shaky at times, you know what I mean, playing out from the back. And I think Laporte brought the steel that Man City needed to their defence. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for him to push them onto the title, like due to a formidable Liverpool team. But I think he's really secured them at the back. And it's only due to injuries that I think we debate on this topic.
Yeah, man. My pick, a bit more out there. Definitely not someone you think of straight away when picking a team of the year. But my pick's going to be Connor Cody. Connor Cody for Wolves. I think he just had such a solid season in the middle of that back three, back five, whatever you want to call it, for Wolves. I think it was 17 clean sheets throughout last season and the beginning of this season for a Wolves side that I know have dropped off coming into this year, but were really, really strong all the way through last year. And I feel like he was such an important part of it. He got his England call up as a result. And if you ever watch Wolves, he's commanding, he's leading from the back. And I think he is really, really important to their setup there and their success they've had over the last sort of season or two. So for that reason, he is my pick at centre half. I think this is where we've got to come to.
I think
which one of them we're
going to. I think that we're going to have to go for Cody purely on Laporte's injuries. I think it's good to have some players from like lower down the league clubs. And I mean, Wolves missing out on European football last season probably was the only small reason why I didn't pick him over Laporte. But he is and has been a very good centre-back for them over the last couple of years. And yeah, with Laporte's injuries, I definitely have him over him.
That's it. And I think there's no doubt that Laporte is the better player. If you had to pick one for your team, he would be in there. But just based on performances last year, I think you're right. Cody's just got to be put in there for the amount of minutes he played and the consistency he had. Definitely gets put in that back four to complete that. So yeah, back four done. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, Connor Cody, and Andrew Robertson. Moving on to the mid.
We both went for a 4-3-3, didn't we?
Yes, 4-3.
We got 3 in midfield.
3-3. And again, that should come up on the screen. We've got a 4-3-3 formation with 3 midfielders. And the first one, I'm going to kick us straight off because I know there is zero debate amongst this one. And that's Kevin De Bruyne. For me personally, I think he's the best player in the league. I think he's one of the top 3 best players in the world. Incredible to watch. Makes everything he does look so easy. And the stats back up as well. 16 goals, 28 assists in the last season and a half, and 46 big chances created in that time as well. I genuinely don't reckon there's a more dangerous player in the league at this current moment in time.
I mean, yeah, he just takes the game by a scruff of its neck. You know, I mean, it's difficult to get the ball away from him. He's always taking it off of Man City players, and he's the killer instinct in that team. You know, I mean, without him, they certainly wouldn't look as a formidable force as they do. But then if we're going for De Bruyne, I think we have to go for Bruno Fernandes in that second option. Now, it might be a little bit attacking, but this is about the team of the year. And Bruno Fernandes at Manchester United has, you know, I mean, he's just taken over that football club. It feels like there isn't a game that he goes without contributing a goal or an assist, or, you know, I mean, he's just so good at running the show for Manchester United.
That's it, man. I think United, since he's gone into that team, and they've added pieces and taken pieces away for years and years now since Sir Alex left, and when he's gone into that team, they just look like such a more dangerous outfit. And it's showing at the moment. You know, there's a game on this evening. If they win it, they are top of the league, which hasn't happened for a very, very, very long time. And I think
I think the fact that Paul Pogba, you know, I mean, an £80 million signing, who World Cup winner and all that, I think the fact that Manchester United are sort of like considering and happy to sell him with, like, shows you the impact that Bruno Fernandes has had since he come into the club.
Definitely, man, definitely. And you can say attacking all you want. Those 2 players would be in my team any day of the week, probably any position on the pitch. As long as I'm getting them in, I'd be happy. So Bruno Fernandes and Kevin De Bruyne, 2 mainstays, and I'm sure a lot of people's teams from the year 2020. Sat just behind him then, I think it was Player of the Year, PFA Player of the Year, or Writers Player of the Year. Controversial. I remember when it came out and it was released, a lot of people thought it was a bit controversial. But Jordan Henderson, we put Jordan Henderson in. I think we agreed on that purely because of the leadership he brought to that Liverpool team in their title-winning season and his organisation.
I mean, I've actually changed my mind. I want Jack Grealish in my 3 in midfield, to be honest. I thought Henderson to begin with, but I think Jack Grealish what he's done this season for Villa, you know what I mean? They're fifth in the table. And what he did last season as well is he saved them from relegation, in my opinion. And I know people are going to think Henderson because he won PFA Player of the Year, but I can't. You know what I mean? I think Jack Grealish deserves to be in 2020 Team of the Year for me.
Well, I had Jack Grealish down as an honourable mention for this section, and there is no doubt the impact and the effect he's had on that Villa team, right? Let's not get it twisted. He's coming to the England team as well, and the impact he's had on those boys is just incredible, and he's really starting to prove himself as an elite talent, not only in the league but internationally as well. However, if we're having the argument that we're being a bit too attacking,
I'm going all out attack.
This has got to be in there, right?
We'll put Jordan Henderson in there just for a little bit of defensive security.
I just feel like because he got the award as well, I think
it's difficult to look past.
And we're never going to compare Jordan Henderson to Steven Gerrard, but
oh dear, what is this?
But it's the closest they've got, I think, in a long time to someone of a leadership figure that Steven Gerrard brought that Liverpool team. And I think it was crucial. I really do feel like it was crucial to them winning the season. So what are we saying, Jack Grealish or Jordan Henderson?
We'll take Jordan Henderson, but sure. I think we'll be looking at Jack Grealish in this year's team of the year.
I think we might be able to say that only halfway through the season so far. Let's crack on then, man. Let's crack on. So that's our midfield of Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes, and Jordan Henderson sitting just behind to give that defensive security, we'll call it. Moving on then. What your pick on? I'll give you this one to start off with. Picks for our front three. What was your first one, man?
I think Jamie Vardy. I think he has to be there. You know, I mean, he was top goal scorer in the Premier League last year. What he's done with that Leicester team for a few seasons now is nothing short of amazing for me at his age. To be playing outside of the Premier League in non-league, what feels like not that long ago, to then come to the Premier League and do what he's done is like, he is a Premier League icon. I think he'll go down as one of the greats in Premier League history. And back to Team of the Year this year, I think that since he, you know, I mean, got the Golden Boot from last year and he just carried on that form this season, he has to be in the 2020 Team of the Year.
I agree, man. And anyone who knows me knows how much I love Jamie Vardy, how dangerous I think he is. I remember as a Bournemouth fan going up to the King Power last season and actually watching him play, and he absolutely shredded us. Now, I know we weren't at our best last year, but just seeing the pace and just seeing how electrifying he was on the last defender, it is scary to watch, and I'd hate to play against him as a defender. I really, really would. 34 goals, 10 assists in the last 18 months, last season and a half. Undoubtedly up there with one of the most dangerous players in the league. And very, very much deserves his place in our Team of the Year. Moving on then, our two boys to the side of Jamie Vardy. Who have you gone for next?
I mean, Salah, again, won the league with Liverpool. He's just such a good player. He offers goals, assists. He's just the perfect man for Mane and Firmino to link with up front. He gives Jurgen Klopp great work ethic when they're out of possession. I think the goals that he's contributed have to be like, you know, I mean, he has to be in there again, same as Jamie Vardy, just from pure stats alone. And I think trophies count for something. Him winning the league title means that he's sort of got to be in there ahead of some of the likes of people like Aubameyang and people like that, because he's won silverware during this period.
That's it, man. I completely agree. 32 goals over the last season and a half. He was up there in the Golden Boot race as well last year. He's up there again this year. I think he's actually top goal scorer this year already. He's just so dangerous. And that left foot, I really find him a bit like I Am Robin when he was in the league with Chelsea and when he was with Bayern Munich. His left foot, everyone knows he's going on his left foot all the time. Every single time he wants to cut in and go on that left foot. And you just can't stop it. No matter how much you know what's going on, majority of the time, he's going to bend it in the top corner after cutting inside. And again, up there was one of the most dangerous players in the league. And for that reason, definitely gets a place in our Team of the Year for 2020. Last one then. Now this one was a debatable one. Again, a bit like the Henderson Grealish, a bit like the Cody Laporte. Your pick, and I eventually agreed with you on this, Heung-min Son. 23 goals, 15 assists. Why do you feel like he should be in our starting 11?
I thought that was just between me and you, mate. For the video, I want to say Aubameyang, right? Because I just can't pick a Tottenham player. Like, I can't do it. For me, Aubameyang has to be there as well. I'm joking, by the way. Yes. So Son clearly is up there with one of the best wingers in the league. You know what I mean? He's contributed goals and assists, and he plays sort of like as a second striker to Kane now. I mean, obviously Kane drops in the pocket, but he's what he's contributed to that Tottenham team over the last year is so good, and deserves to put him in Team of the Year. I mean, Kane, you could argue, should go in there as well, but I personally think that Son has had just such a good year that he deserves it.
Yeah, man, and Kane was my pick, and that was the one we were debating between Kane or Son to put in there. But I feel like the fact that we're having the debate of which one to put in there shows how good together they have been and how well they've backed each other for that Spurs team. If you take those two pieces away from that Spurs team, are they half as good as they are? And questions got to be answered. But like I said, we're having a discussion which one to put in there. We'd love to put both in there, but there's just so many good attackers in the league. You really do have to pick and choose. But I'll agree with you. I'll put Heung-min Son in there just because it just seems to get better every single calendar year we watch him play. He's just getting better and better and better, and really, really good footballer. And for that reason, finishes off our starting 11. However, I will just mention, I'm a Bournemouth fan, and this hurts me to say this, but Danny Ings for Southampton, 29 goals in the last season and a bit, 5 assists. Talking about taking pieces away, if you take that man away from that Saints team, it is interesting to think where they would be ending up, especially after their start this season.
Yeah, he's been a top player for Southampton.
Really, really good. And he's got his England call up, and he scored goals for England over the last calendar year as well. So just so I chuck that in there and give him a mention, just for the sheer amount of goals he scored for that club. So that is us finished. Our starting 11 from top to bottom: Alisson in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back, 2 centre halves in Virgil van Dijk, Connor Cody, left back Andrew Robertson, 3 central midfielders are Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes, and Jordan Henderson for the defensive price. Mo Salah, Jamie Vardy, and Heung-min Son as our attackers. If you agree with us, fantastic. If not, it'd be really, really good to hear where you would have picked differently. And I hope you enjoyed our first added time video. That is us wrapped up for now. We look forward to seeing you on the next video. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.